Young Jay. Imagine me above the trees, a victim of pure imagination. It's so sweet how I rise above the sky before your eyes. Imagine me above the tree.
What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Late night show. Still doing the one in the morning as well, but got plays on my mind. Probably won't be able to sleep. Just trying to get some cash, man. I remember around this time, or I remember something happened like this last year. People started trying to troll me and shit like that. It just puts me into a different mode, man. So we're going. I'm gonna go a little bit more high volume. I'm gonna get out this funk, and then when I do, it's gonna be fucking scary. So I appreciate people for trolling me, for putting even more pressure on me. I appreciate it. To be honest with you, I need that, man. But it's all biz on the show. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know it's a late night show, but I do think there's a possibility that some of these lines might move. To be honest with you, I know I kind of good at seeing when, you know what I'm saying, teams might rest a guy or two. You see what I'm saying? Even though it's early in the season, they know that this is it's still early in the season and got the whole season ahead of you. See what I'm saying? So let's get straight to it here, guys. Yeah, it's all love. I appreciate everybody for tuning. Everybody that's genuinely good and positive. I really appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate the trolls as well. Let's go to the streets of Indiana here, guys. We got the Pacers laying 3.5 points at the house versus the Chicago Bulls in this game, my guys. You can see everything on my screen with this one, with these guys. I don't give a damn. Pacers laying 3.5 versus the Bulls. They have beaten the Bulls three straight times as well. It's crazy because before that, the Bulls had owned them and had won four straight. But Pacers, they're personally, I'm to the point where I don't want to lay points with the Pacers. You see how they came out versus the Cavs. Really, the Pacers can play really sloppy ball. The only problem is if they get it going with their offense. If their offense gets in a groove, it is a oiled machine. And if they're hitting their threes, they can literally blow anybody out. The problem is the reason why I don't want to lay points with them in this particular spot because the Bulls are coming off a bad loss as well versus the Detroit Pistons. The Bulls are probably going to be a Jekyll and Hyde team all season, probably going to be where you don't want to take them off a win, but you probably want to back them coming off a loss. You see Zach Levine. I mean, oh my Lord, if you watch that game, he was absolutely feeling it. He had 51 points in the loss in that one. He needs some help out there. The Bulls are the better defensive team. I can't say I've kind of noticed some with Patrick Williams. He's not all the way engaged in the team. That's what I'm doing right now, guys. I'll still be making plays, but I'm watching these teams. I'm evaluating the teams because once we figure them out, it's going to be crazy, guys. But in this particular spot, with this being a bounce back spot for the Bulls here, I don't have a strong play on this game. I'll tell you that right now, and I'm not here to waste your time. But I do lean towards the Bulls with the triple revenge spot and knowing that they played the better defense. That's something that you can rely on in a basketball game. The way the Pacers run and gun, if they're not making threes and they turn over the ball, they can literally lose to any team. If they're hitting their threes and even play a little bit of defense, they can win versus any team. So the Pacers are going to be a crazy team to back or fade all season until you really figure out their spots, whether that's first quarter, first half, or full game. You see what I'm saying? So I can say the Pacers are probably a better overall team than the Bulls, but they still have a game versus the Boston Celtics coming up on deck as well. It's going to be a few days away, but they still could possibly be looking ahead. They started out the season 2-0, whereas the Bulls started out 1-2. They need a bounce back game here, and they're catching points for a more defensive team. So do lean to the Bulls. I know for a fact that I'm not betting this game, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Charlotte in this one. Hornets getting a point at the house versus the Brooklyn Nets. This line did open up at -2. It's slowly but surely moving to the Hornets. Hornets actually might even close as a favorite in this game. Let me see. So you see a -1 over there at Bookmaker right now. So money's coming in on the Hornets. This is their third straight home game. And no Nicholas Claxton or Cam Johnson for the Nets. And in my opinion, they're not really the type of team that can be missing guys. They don't really have a ton of bigs other than they run Sharp. You don't have another center out there unless you run Ben Simmons at the center, which he's not really like a bang down low tough type of guy, even though he's 7 foot. So Hornets, I'm not a big fan of their bench, but their starting five actually does have a little bit of an advantage in this particular game. The Nets have lost 7 straight games going back to last season, so I'm sure they're ready to get off of that losing streak. But like I say, with the Hornets being at the house, being comfortable, hadn't had to travel anywhere. LaMelo Ball is on a minutes limit here. I'm working on a new system here, guys, and when I figure that shit out, I'm telling you. So it is a first quarter system, but we're gonna keep evaluating everything. But I have a really strong first quarter look for tomorrow, and that shit is gonna cash. I don't give a damn what anybody has to fucking say about it. But Hornets here getting the point, really tough field type of game. I do think the Nets are the better overall team, especially definitely have more depth as well. I even think they're better coach, but the Hornets, they do play a little bit different at the house. For whatever reason, the Hornets turn up at the house. I know they're coming off a game where they lost versus the Pistons, which I did have the Pistons plus 5.5 in that game. But Pistons are just, they came in more ready, right? But the Hornets, you can't continue to get off to bad starts in games. So this is actually a game where I could see the Hornets getting off to a really good start. Full game, you never know. But this is actually a spot where I lean towards Hornets first quarter, first half. It almost fits the first quarter system, but not quite. You'd need the Nets to have a little bit better output in that last game, but it was still a game that went down to the wire. If I had a play in this game, it would be Hornets in the first quarter. I'm probably going to stay off of it, to be perfectly honest with you. But third straight home game, Nets coming off of a loss, going on the road after this game as well. The Hornets are. I think the first quarter, I think they want to get out to a much better start in this game, and I think they do it as well. My top play in this game would be Hornets first quarter -1. I mean, or plus whatever the spread is, basically first quarter money line. But I hadn't bet it, guys. But I do believe that that is the spot in that game. Let's go over here to the streets of Washington D.C. in this one, man. I feel bad for people that doesn't like me saying going to the streets, because we're heading to the fucking streets of somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Wizards are getting 10 points. It's going to 10.5. So if you do like the Celtics, you probably want to take that one tonight, my guys. Celtics have beaten them 4 of the last 5 times. The Wizards won the last meeting of last season, but that was pretty much a throwaway game for the Celtics there towards the end of the season. It was March 28th, and know it, man. So you look at the Wizards here; they're not the greatest team. They did come off a game where they just beat the Grizzlies, in that one. Let me see. Is it, yeah, no first game of back to back. They do head out on the road. I mean, I don't really have much interest in this game. I can tell you that when teams have their playoff revenge game, I usually like to fade them before and after that game. One of those spots, like, it's just not the greatest spots, because before you have the playoff revenge game, there's a look ahead factor, and then you have that big game where you want to show out and prove that you're a better team. But also after that game as well, you can have somewhat of a letdown here. I do know that Daniel Gafford is questionable here for the Wizards, and that's not good because they don't really have a ton of size to bang with guys like Porzingis. You know what? Wizards might actually have a little some. They might be a little pissed at the Celtics because Porzingis went over there. You see what I'm saying? So they have the guards to keep up with them with the Celtics. I just don't know if they have the overall depth, in my opinion, here. So no real look ahead for the Celtics. I'm not laying 10 with them on the road at this point in time in the season, just because I know that they can kind of, you know what I'm saying, be bullshitting around through games. But I mean, if the Celtics did blow them out, I wouldn't be shocked in this one. But I'm not really a fan of laying double digits on the road in this one. So I know that this is a game that I'm not going to bet. I do believe that there are better spots out there. Could actually see scenarios where the Wizards would lose this game but cover the spread. But like I said, if the Celtics blew them out by 20 or 30, would I be surprised? Hell no. But I do know the Celtics are going to pick and choose their spots when they want to really show out. And in all honesty, I don't think that this is one of them. So not looking towards laying 10 on the road. Would actually try to go contrarian and take the Wizards here, but it's not strong enough for me to take, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Toronto in this one. We have the Raptors in this one, man, coming in hard. Let me see what they say in the chat. Nets 0-2, checks the box score at the end of the game, and the Celtics won by 20 plus. I heard a sharp say never lay 10 in the modern NBA, especially not on the road, my guy. Stopping all this low manage, all these players' minutes going to fluctuate. So different system. Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. My guy said Celtics first quarter, don't overthink it. Cam Thomas, Timothy, he's going to keep catching those points props, man. It's going to keep catching those points props. Celtics Wizards first quarter over. I could see that as well. I could definitely see that as well. What's up, my guy? Ty. He said, I dig the hat. This was my brother's hat, and I'm probably going to wear it every single day until we start cashing. got a little piece made, you know what I'm saying, for my guy, man. But regardless of all that, man, we finna turn this shit around. We're finna turn this shit around, man. But let's get over here. Yeah, we're going to Toronto here. Land seven, the Raptors land seven at the house versus the Blazers in this one, man. Total sitting at 217, man. Let me just one sec. Let me go to the sports book, man. This shit's finna get serious, bro. It really is. I got a fucking lock in. I've been in the house all weekend trying to lock in, man. Raptors land seven at the house versus the Blazers. Blazers on a back to back in this one. Blazers have not scored more than 100 points. Let me see. No, they have. So one of those games, I think it was versus the Clippers. First game of the season, they scored 111 in that one versus the Orlando 97 versus Philly 98. I'd like to take the under in this game. Only problem is if the Blazers don't play good defense, the Raptors could really put up 120 points. But Raptors play really sticky D. They're going to be an under team for me all season. Like if I'm looking towards a total for the Raptors, it's definitely going to be under it in this one, man. So under 217, in my opinion, is worth a sprinkle. You just never know what you're going to get from the Blazers. They try to run up and down every once in a while, but I did see them at least trying to start the game playing some good defense on Philly. It just really slides. And with them being on a back-to-back, road back-to-back, you worry about the defense sliding late in the game. But I feel like if I like the under, then that means I like Blazers team total under for sure because it's the Raptors. If there's somebody's going to be going for 120, it's going to be the Raptors, in my opinion. It's not going to be the Blazers in this one, man. So if I'm not mistaken, let me see. The Raptors, they do have the Bucks on deck. And so that's another thing. You kind of worry about the look ahead factor, but with them coming off two straight losses, I do expect them to come out here and play their defense like they do. And win this game as well, man. So if I can only look towards the under 217 in this one. Raptors defense plus Blazers on a back to back, and they're not the greatest offensive team as well. I mean, you got guys like Matisse Thybulle out there, Scoot Henderson, that are really great defenders, not the best offensively when it comes to like knocking down shots or getting their own shot. You see what I'm saying? So under 217 would be my best bet in the Blazers Raptors. It's definitely a lean. I know my guy Punt School. I've you know what I'm saying? Me and him going back and forth with plays. He likes the under 217. He is my total guy. He's the guy. You know what I'm saying? When it's with those totals, he's on the under here for sure, under 217. So I know it's a sharp look. I'm not the best with the totals. I'll tell you straight up, man. Let's go over to the streets of Atlanta in this one. We do have the Hawks getting 2.5. Man, they came out there and smacked the Bucks in that one, man. I should have gave out Hawks. I knew that there was going to be a look ahead spot for the Bucks. They have the Heat in today. They have a Heat on Monday. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to give your best versus the Hawks when you want that revenge. Remember what I said earlier in the show. When you have those playoff revenge spots, the game before is a total look ahead spot, and you could tell the Bucks were not engaged. You could tell from the first quarter, from the tip of the game, man. So Hawks are coming off a big game versus the Bucks. They didn't have to play their guys a ton of minutes. Now going from Milwaukee to Atlanta isn't the easiest back to back, but this is my look on the game. I'll be honest. I kind of had this one circled, not circled as in finna go in on it, but I had circled as this a possible fade the Wolves spot. The Wolves, I'm gonna keep saying it. The Wolves have the Nuggets in their next game, and it's a big game for the Wolves at the house. I could really see them coming out in a sleepy spot here. You see what I'm saying? Quinn Snyder, he knows how to play up against Rudy Gobert as well. So I know in theory you'd like to play against the Hawks here on a back to back with a huge win off the books, but they can actually match up kind of well with the Wolves. Now, I don't like what I've been seeing from Capella. I watched him miss a wide open dunk today, and he already missed the lob versus the Knicks that could have tied the game. So the Hawks are really pissed at Capella right now. He didn't have a horrible game, but they tried to trade him all summer. That's something to keep an eye on. Trey Young isn't really like a team player. I'm not betting this game. The Wolves, in my opinion, are definitely the better defensive team. But when you look at like the all-around weapons that the Hawks have, when you have guys like Jalen Johnson that you can throw in there in the starting lineup, you got a Neko Kongwu coming off the bench, Bogdanovich coming off the bench, you got Sadiq Bey coming off the bench. This Hawks team really should be really good. I'm not really totally sure if the pieces are going to fit well together. They definitely need to trade Capella for a different center. Whole different conversation. Hawks actually offensively can match up well with the Wolves. Wolves better defensively, but I worry about the look ahead spot for the Wolves because I will be all over the Wolves versus the Nuggets in their next game. I can tell you that for sure. Most likely. But we'll see when we get there. But this is a tough game, back to back for the Hawks. Wolves possibly look ahead to the game versus the Nuggets, but I know I'm not playing it. I know I'm not playing it, but I do have some plays, guys. Let's go over to the streets of Thunder here. We got the Thunder. Okay, see here. Thunder laying 5 at the house versus the Pistons. Thunder coming off getting absolutely smoked versus the Nuggets. I'm watching that game. They had nothing for. Well, I wasn't watching it. I'm not. I'm lying. I had to listen to it. I can't watch Nuggets games for whatever reason. I will be taking Thunder in the first quarter. I mean, it's crazy because last year I hit a ton of first quarter plays. Towards the end of the year, I lost like 10 of them. I lost like 10 out of 11 first quarter plays. And I lost one earlier this year as well with the Lakers in the first quarter. You see what I'm saying? So I know how to read these teams in the first quarter. It just hadn't been coming through, man. But this is one that's gonna come through. This line isn't out yet at my books. I'm taking the Thunder in the first quarter here, and I think they probably get it done in the first half. This could be a trifecta spot for the Thunder. They are a little bit further on than the Pistons in like their rebuild or like being great again. Thunder coming off getting smacked. SGA has been playing the whole first quarter as well. Matter of fact, I'm also going to wait and hope that they're not resting SGA here. You see what I'm saying? But both teams come in at 2-1 in this one. But with the Thunder being on the back to back, but not having to travel anywhere. Thunder coming off a loss, Pistons coming off a win. I want to take the Thunder in the first quarter in this one to get a much better start to the game in this one. But I definitely think that they win and even cover the full game as well. That's not my top look here, but the first quarter is an absolute top spot in this one, to be honest with you guys. So I hadn't bet it yet, but until I chose 3 other games, full games, this was probably going to be my only play of the day. I really feel strongly about it. You see what I'm saying? So Thunder in the first quarter is going to be my top play in this game. I'm going to bet it probably like midday tomorrow. It shouldn't move too much. Want to make sure everybody's in there, but SGA shouldn't be sitting out in this one. He should be sitting out. He's a young guy, man. Come on, man. Stop all that low management shit. Thunder in the first quarter. They're coming out hot in this motherfucker. And I think they're going to cover the first half as well, to be honest with you. Could be a trifecta spot for the Thunderstorms, for the Thunder Buddies over there. You see what I'm saying? But first quarter, that's going to be my first system play of the season as far as the first quarters in this one, man, which let me see. I think the Lakers was a first quarter system play as well. It just didn't come through. They hadn't covered the first quarter all season. Thunder first quarter, in my opinion, I really like the spot, to be perfectly honest, which I really like the spot, in my opinion, man. Thunder first quarter is going to be my top spot in that game. Might add the first half as well. Let's go over to the streets of Memphis in this one, guys. Grizzlies getting 2.5 points at the house versus the Mavs. Mavs looked a lot better than I expected them to. It's not that I thought they were going to be bad. I still think that they're badly coached, in my opinion. Now, the Grizzlies, the last year, the Mavs beat the Grizzlies in the first game of the season, 137-96. They absolutely smoked them. This was, I believe that was in, no, it wasn't in Memphis. It was at the house. It was in Dallas. The Grizzlies went on to win the next 3 meetings. So, in theory, the Mavs have triple revenge in this spot. I don't like betting against desperate teams. Mavs are 2-0. Grizzlies are sitting at 0-3. In theory, Grizzlies would fit the bill for the first quarter in this particular game. I'll sleep on it. Like I said, I guess that when you have a system, you're supposed to take it every single situation and live with the results. That's the only way that it's going to be, that you're going to be able to test the system. So Grizzlies in the first quarter would be the system play. It's just playing so bad right now, man. Then Luke Kennard is still out, if I'm not mistaken. So they're not really playing their best basketball right now. So it's really hard. I know that the Thunder can find it, and I know that the Pistons likely to have a letdown. But in this particular spot, I don't really want to trust the Grizzlies. Being perfectly honest with you, I really don't want to trust them. But first quarter here for the Grizzlies would be the top spot in this game. That would be the system play, a system that I definitely think is going to be it's definitely going to be a really good it's going to be profitable, in my opinion, man. You see what I'm saying? But appreciate everybody in here tuning in. Grizzlies first quarter would be the top looking at game. Not totally sure on it though, but I have some other plays. Let's go to the streets of New Orleans here, guys. We got the Pelicans laying 2.5 points at the house versus the Golden State Warriors in this one, and I'm taking the Pelicans right now. You can, if you have DraftKings, you can get the money line right now at 135 for the Pelicans. But I even like the 2.5. I like the Pelicans go away in this one. And you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, wouldn't be surprised if Steph Curry didn't play in this game. I mean, I know Draymond came back. He was already already not really conditioned. He came back and played 20 minutes today. They came back in it was a tight game. It was a tough game versus the Rockets. Steph had to basically go up like 4 for 4 from three in the fourth quarter. Maybe not been 4 for 4, but I know that they went on the 11-2 run in the fourth quarter, and it really bust the game open. Y'all know the Rockets can't really close games, but I do think the Pelicans can close the game, to be honest with you. This is third game in 4 nights, all on the road for the Warriors here. And if they start off the season 3-0 on the road, then it's just gonna be what it is. See what I'm saying? But I don't see it. I think the Pelicans are playing really good basketball right now. They know it's at stake. They finally got Zion Williamson healthy as well. This is an NBA TV game as well. I think this is a Zion Williamson spotlight type of game. Brandon Ingram has been playing absolutely unstoppable. If Herb Jones keeps giving them offense along with that superstar defense there, watch out for the Pelicans. They're not even totally healthy right now. They're still missing three main guys to their rotation in Jose Alvarado, Najee Marshall, and Trey Murphy. Man, I wish they were in this game, to be honest with you, but I'm still taking the Pelicans. They have the rest advantage. They hadn't had to travel anywhere as well, and they also have revenge versus the Warriors in this one, man. They lost their last couple games versus the Warriors. They really played them tight both times, even in Golden State last year. I believe both of those games, they had a lead and basically let them, the first one, they had an 11-point lead at the end of the first quarter, had a 16-point lead at the half. Warriors outscored them by 13 in the fourth quarter, outscored them by 15. Outscored them by 13 in the third quarter, outscored them by 15 in the fourth. So the Pelicans have shown that they can hang with the Warriors. You see what I'm saying? That was even without Zion Williamson. I really think this is a spot for the Pelicans. I took them on the money line, minus 135, minus 137, whatever. But like I say, I like the minus 2.5 as well. It's just something that I kind of did with them myself. Just don't want them to win by 1 or 2, and I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stack up some wins here, but I think the Pelicans win this game going away. I see the Warriors possibly running out of gas in this one, my guys, and they got a game versus the Kings next at the house, which they're probably going to win because Fox got hurt tonight. So Fox probably might not even be on an injury report yet. I do not see him playing in the next game. I'll tell you that right now. But in this particular game, I think the Pelicans have the advantage. I think they guys like coming off the bench like Matt Ryan. I mean, what are we doing here? Matt Ryan's coming. I mean, they just signed him off a contract, and he's coming there bombing threes off the bench. My guys, it's actually pretty crazy to see because the Pelicans didn't have a ton of. They didn't have a ton of. He went 1 from 8 last game, but he's still a very smart player for him, guys. He went 1 for 8, only had 3 points. His plus minus was still 8. See what I'm saying? So Jordan Hawkins as well as a sniper from 3. I think they have the squad to get it done here, especially with the race advantage at the house. Give me the Pelicans on the money line, minus 2.5, whatever. I like the Pels in this. We flying with the Pelicans in this one, man. And also on the under, I actually think this game goes under. Pelicans are 3-0 or 2-0 to the under so far this year, whereas the Warriors are 3-0 to the under. So neither one of these teams have went over the total so far. You kind of worry about the Warriors not playing as good a defense here on this back-to-back third game in 4 nights all on road. So, but I still lean to the under 233. My guy Punt, the total expert, he says 233 is way too high in this game. So, and I even see it going to 232.5 already. Sharps will probably be on this under in this particular spot because the Pelicans won't have a shot to win if they don't play that lockdown defense with guys like Herb Jones, guys. So Pelicans there for me on the money line. I like a minus 2.5 as well. They're cashing both of them shits. Let's go over here to the streets of Milwaukee here, guys. 3 more games and I'm gonna get out of here. Bucks land 5 at the house versus the Heat. Now, starting to get a little worried about the Bucks. I'll be. This is just my opinion. It's almost like Taurean Prince for the Lakers. I don't think that Malik Beasley is a starter in this league. That's just my opinion. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just my opinion there. See what I'm saying? Dame Lillard had a horrible night. I do think they'll bounce back. Only problem is I know that the Heat have it in their head that they hate the Bucks. They hate that Damian Lillard went over there. See what I'm saying? They always hate the Bucks anyway, but this is a major revenge spot for the Bucks here. They got kicked out they were the number 1 seed and got kicked out by the Miami Heat last year as the 8th seed. What better way to get some revenge than at the house? You know what I'm saying? Especially coming off of they basically lost the game for the Hawks by 30 points. I know the final score says they lost by 17. They were down 30 until the Hawks took their starters out, guys. So basically a 30-point loss from the Bucks, and they're going to come out pissed in this one. The Heat are going to take a step back this year, but their defense is so good. They play such good defense, and then they got 3-point shooters out there like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. See what I'm saying? Maybe even Lowry can knock down some threes. So they're coming off 2 straight losses in this one. It is third game in 4 nights on the road for the Heat, but it's not a back to back. I know that the Bucks are coming. I don't want to trust. I don't want to trust their defense, but I do kind of want to do a Bucks Thunder money line parlay. I do kind of want to do that, to be perfectly honest with you. I hadn't done it yet, but I do want to do it because I want to find some way to bet the Bucks. But I do know the Heat are going to want this game as well. It's not just like the Bucks are the only ones that want this one, but they definitely looked ahead versus the Hawks to this game. I can tell you that right now, man. But if I want to bet the Bucks, I would do Bucks Thunder money line parlay. I think that shit's cash right there, bro. I think that shit's cash, to be perfectly honest with you, man. So I'd even lean. I couldn't lean them early, man, because the Bucks they just be bullshitting sometimes. And I don't like Malik Beasley in the starting 5. I'm sorry. I know it sounds crazy, but I know he's a shooter and he can knock down some threes. I don't think that he's a starter in this league. I'd actually start, but they will get Middleton back in this game. See what I'm saying? But I would actually start Chris Middleton and Jay Crowder over Malik Beasley, in my opinion. He's not a great defender. You already got Dame Lillard out there, who's not a great defender as well. So Middleton will be playing in this game. That'll give them a little bit more depth. They should win this game. I'm not gonna lay the 5. What do you guys think in the chat? Are we very disappointing? You got to know the situation, man. You know, S dot liking he's liking the Heat. He said I had Bucks. Yeah, you got to look at who they play next sometimes, bro. Like Bucks first half, that could be a good look there. I was thinking Bucks early here, like, because they're going to come out with a defensive effort. They're going to come out, their effort for today versus the Hawks, you're going to see is like night and day. They're going to come out and be very engaged versus the Heat, but the Heat also are the much better defensive team, in my opinion, man. So, but Bucks got to find some type of way to get on the Bucks. So this is a playoff revenge spot. These are my spots right here. So first quarter, first half for the Bucks, something's gonna get there. I'd like to say early they got to try and build a lead versus the Heat, but Bucks Thunder money line parlay sounds good. Heavily lean to Bucks first quarter, first half. I do think it's better spots out there, but the Bucks, in some type of way, shape, form, or fashion, they got to come out with a much better effort here, and I think that they do. But Dame is still absolute food on defense. Him and Malik Beasley. That's why I don't think you can start them together. That's just my thoughts. Let's go over to the streets of Denver in this one. It's been snowing. It didn't snow today. The Broncos finally ended the streak. They lost 16 straight games versus the Chiefs. But whatever. Nuggets land 7.5 at the house versus the Jazz. They do have the Wolves on deck. This is a third game in 4 nights versus the Nuggets in this. I've been wondering when they were going to drop one. They almost did it versus the Grizzlies. They came out there and absolutely smoked the Thunder today by 30 points, by 33 points, guys. They were up by 11 in the first quarter, up by 18 at the half. They never looked back. They held SGA to his worst game since like 2019 or something like that. But I can't lay the points here with the Nuggets. I'm actually taking the Utah Jazz here, who I actually think match up pretty well with the Nuggets. So they are coming off 2 road games. Now they got to have a road home back to back, probably get in a little late tonight. See what I'm saying? Then they got to fly out again after this game and then go to Minnesota in this one, man. So they might be looking at their game versus Minnesota like we'd rather turn up versus them than the Utah Jazz. Like nobody's really just looking at the Jazz and respecting them. But if the Jazz get to hitting threes, they can hang with the best of them in the league, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So this is a spot that I am going to take the Jazz and live with the results, taking the team with the rest advantage with the points here. I know the Nuggets ball out, and they even ball out more at the house, but the Jazz are used to they're used to high altitude. You see what I'm saying? So Nuggets been balling, but I will take the Jazz plus the points in this one. You can get 8.5 at FanDuel right now if you like, but I'll take the 7.5 with the Utah Jazz in this one. I actually think they might have a chance to win this one outright. I like them having some paint protection, 3 big lineup out there. John Collins hadn't really fit in yet, but Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, and Kessler down there might give Jokic just maybe a little bit of a problem. Him and Aaron Gordon out there as well. Also think the bench can match up well. I'll take the points with the team that I think can match up well with them and has the rest advantage as well. Give me the Jazz plus the 7.5 there. Last game up. We're going to the streets of LA here. Just got done watching this game. Lakers had a chance to win the game, had multiple opportunities to win the game. They did end up losing it. I really wanted them to win because I was like, I'm taking the Magic. But when it went to overtime, I said, I'm taking the Magic regardless. They've lost 6 straight games versus the Lakers, guys. This is a late night sleepy spot for the Magic, but I don't care. I think they're going to be turned up. As long as they didn't go out and party in LA, they will win this game here. They've lost 6 straight to the Lakers. LeBron has absolutely owned them. LeBron's supposed to be on a minutes limit from 28 to 30 minutes. He played 38 tonight. Be straight up with you. I don't think he plays in this game. For what? This is versus the Eastern Conference game. Eastern Conference team. Some tells me that he doesn't play today. Russell's a little bit older player. Torian Prince is definitely an older player. Even AD, even though he's young, he's old. His body is old, man. So I like this young Magic team who is really deep, really well coached as well to get off that schneid versus the Lakers, win this game. They'll probably get blown out by the Clippers in their next game, but in this particular one, I like the Magic plus the 3. I actually think they win this game outright. Couldn't talk you off taking the Magic on the money line, especially if you think that LeBron might sit this game out, man. But I don't care if he plays. They could play everybody. Give me the young Magic, the young hungry Magic in this one. I think they're coming for the Lakers in this particular game, my guys. But that's the show, man. That's the show, my brothers. What are y'all liking? What are you guys liking in the chat? 3 plays for me so far. Pelicans on the money line, Jazz plus the 7.5, Magic plus the 3 as well, man. The honorable mentions are going to be heavy leans, Blazers, Raptors under 217. Thunder, first quarter. I'm gonna be on that shit. Just the lean Grizzlies in the first quarter. I don't know if I'm gonna take that. Bucks Thunder moneyline parlay. I like that. Hadn't bet it. Bucks first quarter, first half, heavily leaning that as well, my guys. And small leans to Hornets and Bulls. And that's it, my guys. That's it. I will have more plays tomorrow on the show. I will have more plays on the show tomorrow, my guys. So, but Thunder first quarter, I'm definitely adding it. So I'll have at the very least 4 plays tomorrow. But we're gonna sleep on it. We're gonna think about some more shit. But I'm definitely gonna. I'm figuring something out, man. We finna figure something out. It's us against the bookies. Everybody that's ride with me, I appreciate you. You see what I'm saying? Let's get some cash. But what do you say? He like CJ over 2.5 threes. Yeah, he been getting them. Prodigy say he like Grizzlies money line. I couldn't talk you all. I don't bet against desperate teams, and I know that the Grizzlies are desperate there, man. So it's actually a good look. But I would look towards their first quarters. If they're gonna win, you got to get off to a good start. In my opinion, man. I hope the Magic ain't party, man, but it's definitely possible. But it's a spot that I'll take versus the old ass Lakers. I will take this spot with them on a back to back and overtime as well, my guys. They saying they like the Grizzlies, man. They saying they like the Grizzlies, man. But let's get some cash, man. I'm out of here. Back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern with more plays. Let's get some cash. Have a good night and a good morning as well. Let's go. Let's get this cash, baby.